But yeah, are you excited? You excited to get started here? Up smash.
Yeah, Nibbs has been shown in the first Wide League to be a very good competitor, knowing how to go in with a max airstream with their Kyogre or their Zacian trying to take it out. But I wonder what Nibbs is gonna have in store for us in this tournament.
He was really, really good and really strong with his Lando last tournament.
Yeah, that
That
was
was a big
Orlando.
one.
That was
That
a
was a
big
big
one.
one. Yeah. Oh, and looks like we're right into it. Grimmsnarl and Kyogre is going to be leading for whoever Nibbs is playing, and Thundurus and Calyrex is going to be the pick on Nibbs' side. So a little bit different here. We're not seeing Lando. Doesn't mean we won't see Lando, but we see that Thundurus over there looking pretty ominous. Who's got this best of the turn 0 here? Up smash.
Well, both of these mons, both of the supporter mons, Grimmsnarl and Thundy, if Thundy's support in the first place, they do have both ways that they can use Thunder Wave, Scary Face, just to get rid of the other threatening mon. I'm thinking that Thundurus might just want to threaten Kyogre out, just because it can't get Thunder Waved. It can probably get a Thunderbolt off. The deal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it looks like we're going to see Nibbs going for the Dynamax right off the bat. It's going to be interesting here. There's a lot of ways you could do this. So what I think that we're going to see, it looks like, all right, so it's going to be Thundurus coming in here. Thundurus is definitely an interesting choice for Dynamax, but it's one that Nibbs has used in the past and with a lot of success. So a really strong start here for this turn. Calyrex is going to protect on Nibbs' side, so going to keep that Cali safe for at least one turn. And Grimmsnarl coming in with the Reflect is going to keep Nibbs' opponent safe from any physical moves, and that will keep this max airstream from hitting at its maxed peak. But that's going to take about a third of Kyogre's health left, leaving it sitting well above that 50% threshold and clearly in the green. Origin Pulse coming off of Kyogre is going to, of course, not touch the Calyrex, but take that Thundurus down. Also taking about a third of its health as well, sitting healthily above 50%. But again, this is with Dynamax, so it's got that extra bulk already built into it.
Yeah, I am thinking that it might be a Vest just because of that damage, because
Yeah.
Thundy is a bit of a squishy boy, and
Mhm.
it needs the Dynamax to now actually live a hit if it's
Right.
on support.
It needs Dynamax and it
Um,
needs Assault Vest usually to live a
yeah,
big hit.
I think that Kyogre tried to cut their losses by using Origin Pulse rather than going with Spout immediately. We got to
Yeah.
see what happens next.
And we see the Kyogre coming for a Protect on the opposing side here. Grimmsnarl going to come in with a Thunder Wave, going right into the Calyrex. It's going to stop it from attacking it quickly, but I mean, it wasn't going to be attacking quickly anyways. A big Max Knuckle coming into that Grimmsnarl, not doing too much through the Reflect, but is going to give that attack boost to both Calyrex and Thundurus. And then Calyrex coming in for the Glacial Lance. And Kyogre, of course, is protected here, but that is going to do some big damage onto this Grimmsnarl. Let's see if it's able to take it out through this Reflect. And it does not, leaving it with about a third of its health left. Still well within that yellow region there, not even in the red. So is Nibbs losing some momentum here? Not really getting off the ground with this Dynamax?
I mean, Nibbs is Nibbs is trying to get as much use of the Dynamax as possible right now. It's kind of turning out to be a dud for this part, just because a dead Grimmsnarl isn't that bad for the opposing
Yeah.
team. It usually sets up the screens, maybe Thunder Wave an opponent. After that, you can like Spirit Break, you could foul play, but I think that the opponent can take out the Nibbs if they time their Dynamax correctly.
Yeah, and we see the light screen coming off the Grimmsnarl to start things off here, which is going to kind of at least give some additional defensive buff as the Max Lightning comes off from Thundurus into Kyogre to take it out and finish off that Kyogre. Calyrex coming in for another Glacial Lance, and that will likely end up taking out this Grimmsnarl. So now Nibbs sitting at a healthy 2-4 lead here. With a chilling Nay boost off of that Grimmsnarl. But Dynamax is about to go away, and his opponent still has Dynamax in their back pocket, and there is a Zapdos on the field now. Do you think that could come into play, or do you think that that's enough? Zapdos and Zacian, double Z's here. Do you think this is enough to turn around the momentum here?
While PeytonCookie is in the back foot right now, I do think that Zacian is putting so much pressure right as is.
Yeah.
Like Zapdos is gonna probably just Dynamax because Zacian sure can't. But at this point, Calyrex has to respect Zacian, and even then, even if it does, it's gonna it might get paralyzed. Then Zacian goes in and cleaves its head off.
Yeah.
Like easy.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be interesting to see. Zapdos is a great Dynamax a target, right? You can fire off those max airstreams, and you even have the electric terrain right now to your advantage. So those max lightnings really going to do a lot of damage, especially to the Thundurus, who, you know, while being an electric type, is still a flying type as well. That Calyrex, though, is putting a lot of pressure on the field. And now we see the Dynamax. I mean, at this point, you really, really have to. You've got only one option here, so it's got to be the Zapdos going in for Nibbs' opponent. And again, this is it all depends on how this turn right here plays out. It's going to be really crucial with the Calyrex, and the paralyze on the Calyrex is going to prevent it from attacking. Wild Charge goes into Zacian, does not KO, leaving it well above 50% of its health. And we see Behemoth Blade coming off of Zacian, so a little bit of slack being picked up here. We see that go straight into the Thundurus, and that will take it out. So no more Thundurus to do any damage, and a paralyzed Calyrex on the field. Even with those two speed buffs, it's not really doing too much. And another speed buff is going to come counter that off here from the Zapdos as it comes in with a max airstream, knocking that Calyrex just, I think, an inch below that 50% mark. Yeah, and not in a good spot. You know, you've got a little bit under half your health left, and you're paralyzed. But Nibbs, of course, still got a couple things in the back pocket, including Landorus.
Yeah,
Intimidate Landorus.
That one paralysis from the Calyrex, it could have ended way worse for Nibbs.
It really could have.
Yeah, because they definitely went Protect there, and Zacian could have taken it out, but looks like that Peyton did read that they're gonna go for Protect, attack the Thundy instead. Yes, it's at half health, but you can still Calyrex is still in the game.
Yeah, I think that it's very much still in the game. You can always hit it Protect and see what you can do there. At least kind of you know, stall out some of those turns of Dynamax. And of course, I guess you could also use Lando and just Protect and see if you could stall out that Dynamax as well. Double Protect, just straight trying to stall out the Dynamax at this point. Zacian goes for the Behemoth Blade. Of course, it is protected, and we were going to see the max airstream going into someone here, and it's going to be the Calyrex, of course, going through that Protect and still getting that extra speed buff on both sides there. So now you have a super fast Zacian, but a regular attack Zacian.
Yeah,
interesting situation.
Yeah, this Landorus could power down the Zacian a lot because it's trapped no more swap-ins for Peyton's side. And then, meanwhile, Calyrex, if Calyrex goes down, another free Intimidate. One more for the road. And then at that point, Lando can try and take out both Pokemon. It has two favorable moves that it likes to use, Earthquake and Rock Slide. It's pretty, it'd be a good mod in this situation.
This should be an interesting turn. So we see the Lando switched out for Reshiram here. So Nibbs is bringing a Reshiram team. Behemoth Blade is going to go into Reshiram, and that does not take it out. Reshiram, big, beefy boy. Max Flare going from Zapdos into the Calyrex slot, and that is not going to allow it to stay another turn. I think I saw a Trick Room clicked there, so that would have been interesting to see if that had stayed in.
Yeah, that would have been a nasty one, especially after they got like a bunch of max airstreams off.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
Dig him into a deeper
now
pit.
You can throw in the Landorus, get an additional Intimidate off on the Zacian, and now this Zacian is hitting at -1, you know, actual -1. Zapdos, I'm not sure if that really affects it that much. I'm pretty sure Zapdos is mostly a special attack. Yeah, from everything I can think of, it's a special attacker.
I think this one's like Life Orb special attacking.
Yeah.
Well, that means that Nibbs can actually go into the next game, knowing for certain that Zapdos is not going to E-Reimpulse anything on the opponent's side, on this side. play a
Yeah.
bit more, be a bit more confident with that. But Landers is looking like to be commanding a very large lead here, and also Reshiram is, it can also swing into Zacian pretty hard.
Yeah, Turbo Blaze is nothing to laugh at, especially and some of its other fire moves as well. Zacian's going to go for a Protect, though, and Reshiram's going to go for a Protect, so we're not going to see that conflict this time. Zapdos is going to go for a Heat Wave, of course, not really doing too much to anyone with that Protect there. Lando, oh, it actually, scratch that, does a significant amount in the sun. Earthquake going off for Landorus, and doesn't affect Zapdos. The electricity disappears from the field. So pretty neutral turn there.
Yeah, that Heat Wave just like ripped apart.
Other than the Lando taking that Heat Wave, you're right.
Yeah, Lando needs to be protected here just because of how well its matchup is into Zapdos. I think that Reshiram does have Sun Up, so fire moves can do really well here.
Yeah. Oh, Sacred Sword going from Zacian into Reshiram. Heat Wave, Zapdos takes out Landorus. Reshiram now is the last Mon on the field, and all of the momentum on Nibbs' side seems to be fading away now. Fusion Flare, it is going straight into that Zacian. That should be enough to take it out. It is. So now it is down to Zapdos v Reshiram. And of course, that Reflect is now wearing off. That means that likely, so Zapdos here now with a lot more health, and that Heat Wave doing a significant chunk. I don't know what Nibbs can do to really to beat this one.
I'm thinking that Zapdos either has to go for a Hurricane in the sun, or you just use their, or use a not very effective move, while Reshiram can just use sun boosted moves all day.
Yeah, it went for a Protect there, I guess, to stall. I don't know what.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to fish out for getting rid of all of its stun moves just so it can use Hurricane, because 50% is gonna probably miss.
Yeah, that's that is some gambling for sure.
Yeah.
Oh no! Fusion Flare. So Hurricane, miss from Zapdos, Fusion Flare going into that Zapdos, and that is enough to take out the Zapdos. Oh my goodness. Wow. Way to go, Nibbs. Just by the hair.
Yeah, Nibbs did a very good job of taking advantage of Peyton's sun that he set up for him. Just 100%. Getting, because Fusion Flares ain't no slouch as soon as Reshiram hits the field.
No, even through the light screen and everything, those Fusion Flares were doing. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Reshiram is no joke. I mean, I feel like the light screen and the sun kind of cancel each other out, right?
A bit, yeah. It's like it's 1.5 times better fire moves.
Right. Those were some interesting conditions to put themselves in. What do you think that Patty can do to really kind of adjust going into that second game?
Well, but Peyton does have. Both people learned very valuable knowledge that both of the electric flying types are actually going to do damage.
Yeah.
None of them are actually going to try and Eerie Impulse anything. So both people can go in and play more confident.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want, the last thing that you want in your life is to see like, oh yeah, I Dynamax my special attack and Eerie Impulse. Okay.
Savage in chat. Why are Nibbs' match is always such a roller coaster? I'm not sure, but that was absolutely a fun one to watch. So, it's a wild ride. So hopefully we can toss back here in a second and go check out the page and see if we can take a look at these teams before they get a chance to pick here. So we got Reshiram, Calyrex, Landorus, Whimsicott, Thundurus, and Rillaboom on Nibbs' side. What do we got over on Peyton's side, Up Smash?
So we got a Sword Dog and a cat with Zapdos with Grim Zap Boom. So this is actually a pretty common rain team. This is like what people are saying is agreeing is the best team for the best core in the game.
Yeah, it's a very you have Nibbs playing something very off meta, and then you have something very standard meta being played here by Peyton. Really an interesting combo here.
Yeah, very good. I mean, both we have to see if Nibbs can just go right through this this pretty meta team.
Yeah, and so now we see a Zacian Zapdos lead for PeytonCookie, and we have a Thunderous and a Double Genie lead for Nibbs over here with Lando and Thundy. So you got the Intimidate already working on that Zacian, and Lando in a premium spot to just go ahead and Dynamax. But, well, I mean, honestly, it may be a little bit of a challenging spot, right? Because Zapdos right here can Dynamax right back and try to fire those same shots, right?
Yeah, well, for Thundy, like, you basically need, like, whenever you're Defiant Thundy, it, like, requires the Dynamax to do anything crazy. But both Pokemon are gonna be immune to Intimidate. Immune to Thunder Wave. Just because, you know, of the typing and everything. So I think that was probably Nibbs' idea, like try and take care of that before anything.
Yeah, no, I think that's a solid bet there. And we see, of course, Thunderous go straight for the Dynamax, and the Dynamax also on both sides, so a double Dynamax this time. Maybe, hopefully, this will, you know, kind of even the momentum a little bit for PeytonCookie. Zapdos, obviously, I mean, you got literally Electric Flying Legendary, or sorry, Electric Flying Mythical versus Electric Flying Mythical here. And Lando's going to go for a Protect right off the bat. So keeping that Lando safe on Nibbs' side. While the Thunderous hits a max Airstream, that's going to go right into the Zapdos slot, not doing too much damage. Not even a third of its health. But it's going to give a critical +1 speed boost to both of Nibbs' Mons. Zapdos is going to return fire with a max Airstream into that Lando, and that will take significantly more damage onto it, even though it protected, taking it down about a third of its health, leaving about 60% left on the field. So a double speed boost, of course, on both sides here. The speed war has started.
Yep, trading max Airstreams is basically the name of the game in this one. Like both electric flying types, Dynamax turn 1. I think Zapdos is going to get a bit more mileage off of this just because of Grimmsnarl right next to it. It can set up it can set up a Reflect. Boom. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about that much. And also, you know, of Life Orbing, Thundy doesn't. I think Thundy does have a chance to get an Intimidate onto it, but very unlikely in this turn.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think it's unlikely to. We see that Lando coming back for Nibbs, and Calyrex coming in its place, maybe trying to milk another Intimidate for a later. Unnerve, making sure that no one's eating any berries on that field. Grimmsnarl's gonna hit up the Reflect, making sure that that Thundy is not hitting as hard as it was even last turn, and that Reflect is gonna be immediately countered by a Max Knuckle into that Grimmsnarl, which takes on the chin. Because of Reflect.
Yeah, I think that Nibbs just wants to have it so that that his Cali Ice has an attack boost just to try and go in with a Glacial Lance.
Ooh. But Peyton coming in with that max Airstream on Calyrex there, really doing a significant amount of damage, leaving about 25% of its health still on the field. But I mean, it may be a strong 25%, but that is just not what you want to have happen to your Calyrex the first time it gets plopped out on the field.
Yeah, Calyrex likes to like live literally everything.
Yeah.
And then you know, get your attack boosts. Try and get like, I don't know, a Trick Room off.
Right.
You know, do all that jazz, and that like taking away 75% of the health on switch in.
Yeah.
That's gonna quash all of his plans.
That's rough. That's big rough. And we see Peyton with taking that Grimmsnarl back and throwing Kyogre in the mix now. Drizzle going to guarantee that Rain is set up for Zapdos later on. Calyrex is going to go for the Protect and keeping it nice and safe. And Zapdos is going to fire off with the Max Airstream into Thunderous, doing, again, about the same amount of damage that Thunderous did to Zapdos that first turn when it Max Airstreamed into it. Of course, speed boost for both Zapdos and Kyogre. And Thunderous returns fire again with another Max Knuckle. So now it is sitting at +2 and now this Calyrex is sitting at +1 at least.
Mm-hmm. I think that Nibbs is just trying to use that turn to just try and counteract all the Reflect that Grimmsnarl did a couple turns ago. and now you can just still go in with Wild Charge. You can still go in with like Glacial Lance if you wanna. I think Zapdos
Yeah.
is gonna kill you before you can do that, but you know, if they decide to not do that, then go in.
And we shall see. Looks like Zapdos is going to go for the Thunderbolt right off the bat, and that's going to go into Thunderous, not taking it out and doing a little bit of Life Orb damage on it there. Wild Charge is going to go straight into the Kyogre. Kyogre does not take that very well, taking it all the way out. Nibbs really appreciating that. Trick Room.
Nice.
So now none of those speed buffs that Peyton had been stacking really matter, and Nibbs has greatly shifted the momentum of this match now.
Yeah, that was a crazy turn for Nibbs. Basically Thunder just went, oh yeah, your +3 speed Zapdos? Yeah, okay. How about your Kyogre though? And this smacks him, like, is gone.
It's like, I don't remember Kyogre being on the field the entire 3 matches you maxed, and we're collecting those max airstreams, so I think I'm just gonna zoink, yoink, and done.
Let me just thanks with that Kyogre.
Yeah, that is precisely what needed to happen. You're absolutely right, chat. And thank you for the follow, Caper Doodle.
All right,
we see
so
Cape.
They are like Nibbs' side is very low.
Oh, we got Zapdos going for a Protect here, and Grimmsnarl is going to hit a Spirit Break. That's going to go straight into Calyrex. Is it enough to knock it out? No, Calyrex survives with 15% of its health. Of course, it's going to lose a little bit of special attack. Doesn't matter for a physical attacker like Calyrex Ice, and that Glacial Lance will take the Grimmsnarl out, right? No, Grimmsnarl survives it. Wild Charge into the Grimmsnarl, so at least no more Grimmsnarl for next turn. And we see, I think
the Zacian,
did Zapdos go for a Protect or something earlier? I think
Zapdos went for a Protect. But yeah, Nibbs is making very good usage with his with their Trick Room turns. They're like at red. They're at both at red health bars and a prayer.
Well, here's the interesting thing though. We do know that Thundurus has 1 speed buff at least, right? Because it did that first max airstream. Is a +1 Thundurus faster than Zacian, thus slower in Trick Room?
I think that it is. Like it's like base 111. So times 1.5. Yeah, then that'll outspeed any Zacian, which means that Zacian could just go in.
If Zacian can survive at least 1 Glacial Lance, which I think at this point is now boosted with at least 1 Chilling Neigh. This is a lot to keep track of here. All right, so we see the Glacial Lance go off, and it hits both targets this time. Zapdos also really not going to take this Glacial Lance well, and it doesn't. It takes it all the way out. And not very effective on Zacian, still leaving it in there. It's hard to kind of tell exactly where its health is because there happens to be a Ditto in the way. But another Chilling Neigh boost is not what you want to see if you're on Peyton's side of the field. Peyton is going to go into Thundurus, making sure that it is not allowed to attack back. But now you have left the... I mean, honestly, like, you're just in a bad position because you got a lot left here in the back that Nibbs can bring in.
Yeah, Peyton's got a Lano to worry about as soon as, like, at the end of all of this gauntlet, right at the end. I think that, Nibbs did a very, very good play in that one, setting up the Trick Room and, like, taking out Amon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took out the Kyogre, like, one shot and then continued to live off of it. So,
that Kyogre KO was very significant here. It's Zacian against the world. Zacian is one mon that can do it, and so I think that you might see someone get ambitious and actually really try to do that here. But other than that, I think that this is probably going to end up going over to Nibbs. And we're seeing a Protect here, possibly trying to wait out a Trick Room.
Yeah,
high horsepower is going to seal in the deal once that's allowed to hit.
Like if the Trick Room ends, they gotta worry about Reshiram. If it doesn't, Calyrex is still the issue. Basically, both these mons have Zacian dead to rights.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Nibbs just noticed it too. I think I could see him saying it there. It's like there's one more turn of Trick Room. So yeah, it's he's there's kind of no way out of this for Peyton, but other than a double protect, and then they don't get high horsepower goes into Zacian, and that'll be enough to take it out. And that'll be all that is needed for this champ. GG's Nibbs.
Yeah, that was a good 2-0 by Nibbs right there. Like basically Nibbs definitely showed me wrong on that second game.
Yeah.
I was certain that Calyrex is gonna get knocked out next turn. No.
Yeah.
Nibbs is like no. I'm gonna have this boy live until the end.
I think the idea that we saw Nibbs do it a lot, where it was like Calyrex was in a vulnerable position, and so what he would do is he would hit Trick Room, and so that but for whatever reason they avoided Calyrex, then they got really punished for it, right? Because that Trick Room can really change the momentum of a match, and we saw that absolutely happen in the last match. Yeah, even though the momentum was already kind of on Nibbs' side anyways.
Yeah, I think that like Nibbs is like using that as a read to their fear, like say, okay, they're not going to attack this thing because I'm going to protect, but what if I didn't? And then this proceeds to use Trick Room, and then if it works, it works, and then like they just use Max Airstream 3 times. So they're not gonna like that one. That was a very smart play by Nibbs in that one. Like, I mean, very nice.
The speed control we've seen is really huge in Series 12. So just to see stuff like Trick Room and stuff like Max Airstream is going to become very crucial, and we saw that very much so in the last one.